Good day, everyone. I know that just like cracked as it went. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Audio Control Talk with your host Dean and Matthew. Dude, remember doing that one time up in the Sweat Lodge? Yeah.
Oof.
That was fun.
Yeah, especially this time of year.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No, that would suck.
No AC, no heat, no circulation.
Yeah, that was the weirdest little.
It was
like you had to go. Like the other store had to be open so you could get up there.
I needed video studio space, and it was COVID time, and it's like, well, where can I build this? Where do we have room?
And
hey, Matt, we have this old unused loft you can use. That's used for storage. I'm like, okay.
I was just curious how they got everything up there.
Yeah, it was by forklift. And they had to run the forklift through the other business. Okay. And then there was like some doors that opened at the second level that had, just a sheer drop, and they just slid pallets in there. It was weird. It was very weird.
Yeah, it was. But we don't have to do that today because we're in the Bay.
Yeah, we're here.
We're in the Bay. We're here. Saturday night already. I mean, technically, yes, this is my Saturday night. I mean, I do have to work tomorrow, but we won't be doing a Saturday show because I'll be in your hometown.
Gotcha.
So he leaves for Phoenix tomorrow. I leave for Phoenix tomorrow after. He lives in Phoenix, though. So I'll be at Mobile Solutions. But today, we're in Florida, and we're going to talk about new audio control stuff that we have sitting over here, along with some new pack stuff and whatever else Matthew feels like telling us about. So it's been a minute.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We got that. Let's just start with this.
Yeah,
Can we start with this?
Do it. Absolutely. Yeah. New Micro Pro.
There it is.
Yep.
We've talked about it. It's here.
It's pretty exciting.
This is pretty.
Yep.
So for those of you who don't know, this is the new Epicenter Micro Pro. Matthew, why do we have an Epicenter Pro?
Yeah. So we've been doing this, the last few years. We have legacy products that work well, and we want to find ways to improve them. So we come out with a Pro version that addresses, things that are by popular demand a lot of time.
Yeah.
Anything that has Pro in the name, of course, comes with a certain set of features like built-in LGDs and the remote level control in the box and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
We did this a while ago when I first started with audio control. We just had the standard Epicenter concert series.
Yes.
Right. And we would hear from dealers all the time, like, I need a smaller one. I need one I can fit inside the dash. I need one that is water or moisture resistant. I need, one with high level inputs, all these requests.
Knobs.
Yeah. So we come out.
Yeah.
So we come out with the Micro.
Mm-hmm.
And the Micro has been great. Like it's been successful. It's worked well for us.
Do you remember when we shot the introduction video on that? So we were in Orlando. At
I do remember.
Fest,
yes,
and we had to go.
We went out
into
the hallway.
corner.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's done pretty well for us. But there's always
room for improvement.
Yeah, there's always something you want to fix later, right? Or things that you want to add or whatever. And one of the things that I used to hear a lot about the Epicenter in general was a few things, but one of the popular ones was all these guys with big woofers that want to do I want to do hair tricks and I want, big power, big systems, but they still want an Epicenter, but they won't buy one because it has a PFM in it.
Yes.
Right. And they're like, well, for those that don't know, PFM is basically a subsonic filter.
Yes.
In the original concert series, you could change settings and swap the chips and, get it down lower, but you can never defeat it. Okay. So then in the Micro, we made it defeatable. So we lowered it from 33 hertz to 24 hertz. And then we also made a switch where you could just turn it off. But not a lot of adjustability there, right? So in this one, you got 33, or excuse me, we went from 33 to 24 in the Micro. This one has 24, 15, and off. So you have an additional option.
Okay.
Right? I mean, music today has
nice.
Lower bass in it than it used to. And 24 is too high for a lot of people, but they still want some sort of subsonic. So 15 is a great choice. This Epicenter has had the Gary Bell treatment. So this is Gary looking at
I won't say it.
This is Gary looking at the Micro and going, okay, here's what I would do, right? And things like having an input level now, it has an input level control with a maximized light. So you can set up your input levels. You've got output level control with a maximized light, so you can match it to your amp. So all of those kind of installer centric features are there, which are awesome. But then we also included now a true line driver. So I often used to say in training that the Epicenter Micro was kind of like an Epicenter and an LC1i mixed together. That's not entirely accurate because an LC1i is a line driver.
It's a line driver.
Whereas, the Micro never really had a true line driver circuit in it. So what would happen is occasionally someone would say, hey, I put this in my base model Ford F-350 work truck, right? Factory radio has 10 watts of output, and you put a weak signal in, and unfortunately you'd get kind of a lackluster signal out.
Right.
It wasn't a big problem that often, but occasionally you'd get hit with that. So now with a true line driver circuit,
so this is actually an Epicenter Micro with an LC1i built in.
Yes, and then some.
Yes. Load resistors are still in it.
Yep, load resistors are still in there. Of course, it has the extra turn on mode, the audio turn on, if you just can't find any other way to turn the thing on.
So GTO plus.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, more or less. And then what else did we add? Balanced and unbalanced, which the original Epicenter had, but the Micro didn't really have.
Right.
Now it's been added back in. And then the ACR4 control has been updated a little bit. So just the way that it controls the effect output is a little bit different. So
more linearity.
More linearity. When you turn it to 0, it's at absolute 0.
Oh, so it shuts it off.
Yeah, there's no trickle through. Yeah.
Right.
On a Micro, there could be a little bit of trickle through.
Right.
Somebody with a real discerning ear might be able to tell.
So it has a true off now.
True off now.
Oh, that's cool.
Which for the guys that miss the old push-pull Epicenter knobs or click.
I don't think anybody remembers those.
We get asked all the time.
Really?
Yes, all the time. Like, man, you should make.
And then they ask for their EQTs.
That too.
Yeah.
No, the big one. What do I get asked for all the time? Oh God. I mean,
good morning. Good evening. Hi guys.
The center channel.
Oh, the thing that never
Phantom
existed.
Phantom processor, basically. Yeah. God, the name will come to me.
Yeah.
But we get asked for that thing all the time too. And it's always the same. It's like, oh God, if you made this, you'd sell so many. It's like, you mean five of them, maybe 20.
So many.
Yeah,
so many.
So
yeah.
But anyhow, no, this is good. I mean, I think the other big part of it that I think a lot of people, don't always look at right away with things like this.
Yeah.
Is
the door, please.
Is pricing, right? So even though this is the Pro, it's actually less expensive than the Micro.
Really?
Yeah. So we were able to, find some ways to save a little bit of money.
And, that's because you had Gary touch it.
Exactly. Right. When you have Gary touch it, that's what happens. Hey, speak of the devil, look at that.
The man in the hat.
So it's a big step forward, I think. And going forward, what we want is all of our enthusiasts and specialty retailers and direct dealers selling Pro. Like we want them selling 5i Pros, not still hanging on to the LC6Is of yesteryear.
Yeah. Well, that's why you have the LC. You have the LC5,
5i Pro, 7i
Pro. Which we did wonderful videos on all of them.
Yes,
and I can't wait to do a video on this one soon. So
is
this available yet? Should be pre-orders.
Yes. Yep.
So pre-orders.
Yeah, I can tell you right now if they're actually in the barn yet or not. But I know pre-orders have already been.
Do you have solutions open on your page?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to grab the page on the Epicenter Micro Pro?
So if you go to stingersolutions.com, you can go there, and
there it is.
Right there, it's all the way to the bottom.
Fernando up here. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, I'm just gonna log into my portal real quick and see if we've actually got them.
Yeah, so we go here.
In the barn, so
you click into the Epicenter Micro Pro.
Guitar pick.
Oh, I love those.
It's like the best.
Same knob.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the knob is now aluminum, right?
Yes, and the ACR4s have been aluminum
for a while.
Yeah. Any other ones with ACR4s had aluminum knobs, and that continues. And yes, available in our California warehouse, has them in stock.
So if you've been waiting, now I feel like I'm on the CVs.
Right.
What's
the home shopping network?
Yeah. If you're waiting, they're in the barn right now. So
for only 6 payments of $19.95.
Don't wait. You can get them right now, and we can get one of these bad boys out to you, so you could be one of those lucky few. Anyways, cool.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. Exciting stuff.
Hi, Gary.
Hi.
All right. So Epicenter Micro, big one right off the bat. This is cool. Kept it to small size.
Yep.
Lots of new features.
little bit
think
longer than the
a
other
little
one.
bit longer.
But
Yeah, but it's okay. It's fine.
It's closer. What was interesting before is the 2i Pro was longer than the Micro Pro or the Micro, and now the Micro Pro and the 2i Pro are very similar in size.
Yeah.
So
we conveniently have them all on display
hey, look at that.
so that we can.
now
do
we have
things
to
like
make a new
this.
one
We
so
have
we
to-
can
so
add
there
that
you go.
one in. Yeah.
There's the family.
Put it next to the actually Epicenter Micro. There you go.
Sorry, I'm looking at myself backwards. So yeah, it's a little bit longer.
Yep.
But the nice thing
There's a
is
whole lot more packed in there.
this. Okay, so the nice thing is you can unplug this or
Yep.
any one of these and plug this in. You don't have to run a new base knob. I'm sorry, you don't have to run a new base cable. You can easily, like if you have an LC2i Pro and you've been waiting to get an Epicenter and you're like, oh, there's a Pro coming out, I want the Pro. You can easily just unplug this, plug this in, pull your base knob, don't pull your wire, plug the new base knob in, and you're done. You don't have to rewire anything. All the plugs will be the same config,
Easy upgrade.
except for this one. This one is not, and that's why it's on this board. This is one of the original 3 that was done backwards.
Well, that's a prototype, right?
That's a
That was a
prototype, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why it's on the wall.
Yep.
All right.
So as much as Paul wants it, he can't have it. Anyways, all right, Epicenter Micro. I'm sorry, Epicenter Micro Pro.
That's right.
All right. Did they change the knob so the remote, you say, can feel where they are adjusted to?
So they're more adjustable. You kind of feel it on the.
They don't have detents in them. Like they're still a smooth turning,
Yeah.
potentiometer.
Yes.
So I guess if that's what he's referring
No,
to.
I think I mean
then
because
no.
you're referring to the fact that they changed the linearity of the scale,
Right.
not the actual touch and feel of the knob.
We
Go.
made sure that when the knob was all the way down,
We
there
talked
was
about that.
absolutely
Yeah,
zero
zero.
effect.
Yep.
That was the
Yep.
biggest thing.
Yeah.
So 0 to up.
And it will make the 10 volts of output with 1 volt,
Yes,
less than
we,
1 volt of it.
we talked about
Okay.
that as
Okay,
well.
good.
The
Why
one
does
thing
you have it covered? See you guys
Yeah.
next time.
the one thing you know what,
chairs right there, Gary.
Yeah.
If you'd like to sit down, grab a chair.
I did forget to talk about a little bit though
Yes.
that we should probably talk about.
That's
is
why you're here.
on the output level, that little maximized indicator,
Mhm.
right? What this actually relates to is this little switch on the side. So there's a little switch on the side here
Oh.
that's 5, 7.5, and 10.
Yeah, so it had
look
that on
at-
the other one.
Look at what your amp handles,
Yes.
and then flip it to that setting. And then as you turn up that knob, when that little indicator lights up,
Phone.
Yes.
when that indicator lights up, it's telling you you are hitting the setting that you chose.
Okay.
So if you set 7.5 and turn up output level, that little LED next to the word max lights up, you are hitting approximately 7.5 volts.
Very nice.
Say I can squeeze in so we can just
No,
fit
no,
in
I'm,
here.
I'm reading comments here.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Gary's going to be our off-screen talent.
So right here, if you go into my laptop, you can see that one is the
Yeah, there you go. You got it.
5, 7.5, and 10.
Yep.
Nice.
Why did I go there? Okay.
Is this your first rodeo?
This is my first rodeo.
I'm sorry, guys. We just
Sorry, I'm
hired this
slow.
new guy.
Ah, FNGs. What are you going to do?
I know. So there it is right there.
Yeah.
Get a close-up sexy pan. Oh, look at the pan. All right, keep talking.
All right. So one question.
What is the one question?
Does it make sense for audio control to add Acubase into their amplifiers?
Well, that's a great question, but we've had Acubase in our amplifiers for a long time. Not every series, of course, has it.
You can just leave it on.
But our LC series, D series,
Mhm.
some of the ACX, some of the ACMs that are still floating around, those select models have Acubase built in. What we don't have is Epicenter built into an amplifier. We make it really easy to upgrade and add it, but yeah, not built in, of course. So hopefully that answers the question.
You know, and that's funny too, because like one of the features of the Epic with the output
Yeah, the
is
Epicenter
that
link.
you can choose LC1i, LC2i Pro, Micro Pro, 5, 5i, or 5, 7, whichever one you want.
Right.
It has the output
Yep.
to power it up.
Yeah. You can power
Because it doesn't have
DSP if you
internal-
wanted to.
You know, it doesn't have internal high to low or so
Right.
it's like it's the thought.
Yeah, it's set up to add whichever LOC or processor that you need.
If you're going to be doing that.
Yeah.
So it's kind
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it does.
Plus, it helps keep the cost down on the core product. You know, for the guys that don't need all that stuff, well, great. You're saving some money. It's not built into the amp. And then for those that do need it, they can just add that accessory and away they go. So, 7.5 volts is a lot.
It seemed like a good idea at the time.
Different voltage.
Yeah. It's just, it seemed to be that's what they wanted. And it,
Well, it's a little bit different the way that it worked. I don't know if we have time to dig into all of that, but okay, fair
we're
enough.
not going to.
Okay, fair
You
enough.
can call me later.
Yeah, it was truly different though. It
Yeah.
was just a different version of using that voltage setting. It works a little differently though. So
Yeah.
Yeah, the old one gets to that voltage with boost.
right.
The
Right.
boost is how you get there. Now we do it by driving the input side.
Right. There you go. Easy enough answer.
Yep.
All right. Does that come in a 4-channel? Just 2-channel? Just 2-channel.
2-channel. Yep.
2-channel.
Yep.
Okay. What's next?
Well, let's dive into Epic.
Yeah.
Let's do Epic.
I mean,
Yeah.
we're just talking about it, so
epicenters.
let's talk Epic.
We briefly mentioned Epic amps, so let's talk about some Epic speakers.
You still got that open? Yeah,
Yeah.
you do, because I'm looking at it right here. Why don't
Yes.
you walk over there and we'll kind of pan over it
Yeah.
and we'll journey. Here it comes.
Yes. So a couple new lines here. The new Epic X woofers. We've got a 10-inch there as a sample today, and then our we'll dive into the specifics on all these in a moment here. But Epic Pro is our new kind of pro audio style, loudspeaker style line.
Hey, zoom in close to that. I want to see that.
Yeah, the ripple, the crack.
Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah, the Epicenter crack or the Epic crack, for sure.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
You see the fiberglass reinforcement? Yeah, if you catch it just in the light like that,
Yep.
can see
You
the
can see it.
fiberglass reinforcement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's the new Epic Pro line. So these are Epic Pro speakers. That's a 6.5-inch standard depth, a 6.5-inch, or excuse me, that was the 8-inch first there, and then 6.5-inch standard depth, which is called the 6X, and then you have the 6S next to it, which is the slim version. So for those that are going to actually, fit them into a door panel or something instead of a full custom install, and then 2 new tweeters as well. So that is the 3NT, Epic Pro 3NT for Neo tweeter. You'll see nice and pretty slim for a
Is that a
good size tweeter, so.
replaceable diaphragm?
It technically is. We don't have a plan to sell replacements yet, but it could technically be rebuildable.
Okay.
And then that is the Epic Pro 4T, which is a little bit more of your, more standard pro audio style tweeter there. And, as far as build quality and how these things sound and type of volume you get out of them and price points, I think it's pretty damn impressive, actually. I'm pretty proud of what we come up with. Like everything audio control, we didn't want to just do what everybody else does. And I mean, I'm sure you've seen it a million times, Dean. Anytime somebody does pro, more or less, it always comes down to just one thing, right? What do they talk about?
What's the sticker on the back say?
How many wattages?
It's a 5,000 watt tweeter.
Right. Well, and what do they talk about when it comes to marketing stuff? Just loud.
Yeah, as you say, there is no marketing in these. It's just
loud.
what it is.
Just loud. And we want to do things a little bit differently. We did a lot of R&D and homework into this, and maybe I should just let Gary talk about these a little bit. This is really, this was Gary's project.
Was it?
I mean, I'm the one that does
100%.
training, and I can talk about him all day, but I mean, we have the guy here. I feel like I should step
My
aside
team.
for a moment.
My
Well, you
team
don't
did
have
this.
to. Just come in the meadow.
Come on in.
You know, yeah, come on in.
Harry.
Yeah.
Come get cozy.
You can. Here, sit right there.
Yeah, there you go.
I've been sitting down all day.
All right.
I don't work.
Me too.
I have Fernando.
I've been
for
sitting
me.
all day too.
That is true.
So this is my team's project. I won't take credit for it. I'll let my team take credit for it. But obviously we sell a lot of Epicenters. We talked about that last time I was here.
Yes.
The Epic amps, we're selling a ton of them. We know that there's a lot of customers that put a lot of bass in vehicles and they struggle to have the front end keep up. and that's where pro audio drivers. I mean, most of the guys are familiar with this, but the whole idea in a pro audio driver is that we trade off efficiency for low frequency response. So what you're not going to find is a speaker that has a 99 dB efficiency and plays down to 40 hertz. Like you're just not going to find that combination. The math doesn't work right. No. And how we get there, right? How we gain efficiency is by using a really lightweight cone, and we use it with a very precision motor assembly. So the tighter we get that gap between the voice coil and the top plate, we can focus that magnetic energy. And by just like when you get a magnet really close and then they jump together, the tighter that tolerance that you make, the more magnetic force you have. So we do a more precision gap there. And that's how we drive that extra motor force. Okay. Obviously, we put a humongous magnet on it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you got to.
Yep. So the trade-off for most guys is that if you have a ton of bass, you'll have extra energy. Even though you're crossing your subwoofer over, let's say 80 hertz, something like that, you're still going to get information up into that 100, 150 hertz range. And that's going to kind of ramp in as this speaker ramps out of wanting to play down that low. So we get that added efficiency to keep up. And that's really the benefit to the pro audio style drivers. From a sound quality standpoint, they sound, because they're so efficient, they're very dynamic. They have lots of output. They sound very effortless when you run them on normal power. When you're not hey, I'm going to try to run it on 200 watts all day long, try to flip it like a light switch and send it all of the power at once. They become very musical speakers. That trade-off, like I said, is just that you end up with that little bit of a gap in the response, which in a lot of cars, you have nulls around that 150, 160 hertz, and you already don't have a lot of response there. So it's kind of an interesting game to play.
Now, the dust cap looks way different than a standard loudspeaker dust cap.
It does. So there's kind of two trains of thoughts when you have a pro audio driver. You'll see some that have a phase plug, and we all think back, we all think early Focal home audio days and a phase plug, and we automatically go, oh, a phase plug is good, right? So that phase plug is basically changing the distance between it's basically breaking up the reflection from one side of the cone to the other. And so you put that phase plug in the middle and it breaks that up and smooths out the frequency response. There are downsides. Everything is a trade-off, right?
100%.
All engineering aspects are a trade-off. So one of the things that you give up there is cone area, right? So you have less radiating area there. So by us putting a dust cap on a speaker that's flat, we keep more cone area. By us increasing the surface area of that dust cap, we now have more cone area that's moving, and we still are able to break up some of that wave. So it's kind of a compromise in this scenario. The other scenario is that a lot of guys that are running phase plug drivers, you have an open gap to the coil.
Yes.
So there's a lot of magnetic junk in the air.
No, not
and
at
for
all.
these guys that have these open show vehicles and like the speakers are open,
I often carry magnetic in my pocket. So when I'm walking through those, and I go, "That's loud."
Well, sometimes you have to cut it to be able to fit it in.
Yeah,
so
and
all that metal,
anything
all
that can get down in there can ruin the speaker.
This feels like a Gary Waymeyer conversation.
Yeah. So it's managing compromises. That's what all engineering is managing compromises. So we found this to be the best combination of having the most output, the best sound quality, and being able to, again, build it at a price that is super reasonable.
All right, let me switch this out because this is obviously the 8-inch. I want to talk about the pancake little guy over here.
You just took it away.
The 6S.
This little guy.
The 6S is probably my favorite. And the reason being is that this is slim enough that it'll fit in a lot of door panels. And it still gives you that high efficiency. The other thing that you'll notice is a lot of these are considered mid-range drivers where they'll play, and it almost seems like full range. Like you could play this, and with some EQ, you could run it tweeterless. Like these extend out beyond 10,000 hertz, right? Like me personally, if I was building this and I wanted like the best combination of sound quality and high output, I would be crossing this way down into the 5,000 hertz range.
Yeah.
But a lot of guys for open show, they just let them rip full rip. When you made it with a tweeter, like tweeters are already inherently efficient. So like we have guys that we're testing this with, and we're running a P&W tweeter with this in like a sound quality type setup, and it's fun. It's like it really does everything. Then we have the high power compression tweeter that.
So in a pinch, you could put the P&W tweeter with this.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
4 ohm, 8 ohm. What do we got?
4 ohm. Everything is 4 ohm right
Everything's 4
now.
ohm.
Yeah. As we get more into this world, again, this is us wanting to support the Epicenter customer, right? The get loud, we want to keep up with lots of bass, and that's where we're starting. We have all sorts of other products that we're working on that expand on this, but this is the first kind of first set.
Grills, no grills.
No grills. We will have a coax version in the 6.5 and the 6x9 that are coming. We're probably 2 months out, I think.
Okay.
60 to 90 days out, and those will come with grills.
You mentioned 6x9.
Yeah,
Okay.
6.5 and 6x9.
Bighorn tweeter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but still relatively low profile. So like you'll see some of these in the tweeter will be out here. Like we're like I will not.
It's
I
me in the
will not
cold
do
room.
that.
I totally understand.
Yeah.
What I think is cool too is that unlike a lot of like pro audio style car audio speakers, we did pairs. They're not singles.
Yep.
So I saw somebody asking, are they singles or pairs? They are pairs.
Yes.
And the pricing is super competitive.
Here's the box.
Yep. Comes as a pair. So like with the 6S, the slim there, you are about $100 retail.
And a manual. Whoa,
and a cutout template.
They come in foam. It's not that
crappy.
Well,
this is version 2 packaging.
Okay.
The first shipment came with cardboard packaging. But,
we've all seen that.
We've updated that.
I feel if you guys want to know more about, the details of the speakers, you guys can go into the
website,
stingersolutions.com, and you can find all that details in there.
Yeah, I mean, briefly looking at some of those, like the power handling is silly high. I mean, a couple hundred watts on a lot of these things.
Yep.
Tweeters are still sold as pairs as well, which again is unique for this like pro audio, car audio type market.
Yeah.
Even the Neo tweeter, you're right around or a little under $100 a pair, which is pretty impressive, I think, for something that, for the guy that wants to get tons of output. Like, think of how many vehicles now have a 2 3/4 in the top dash.
Yep.
That'll fit where a 2 3/4 fit beautifully.
Yeah,
so
and they're thin enough that you can get it in a lot of door panels and stuff.
For sure. Yeah, if you're willing to cut a little hole and drop that thing in, like no big deal. What were you saying?
I was going to say, we were talking about power handling in the manuals. I don't have it all committed to memory, but our Ash, who is my product manager that did these, we went through and we laid out power handling based on crossover points. This becomes the two things in pro audio that are really hard to compare apples to apples is efficiency, because some guys will rate stuff at 1 watt, some will rate it at 2.83 volts. We give you both in the manual. We give you power handling based on crossover frequency. So in the manual, and you can find the manuals online, you can dive a little deeper into that. But the rule of thumb is, if you have an amplifier that you trust, that's good quality, if it's an Epic amplifier, if it's an altitude amplifier, 200 watts of channel music power, you're good. You're not going to hurt anything. We've put much more to them. Turns out I'm pretty abusive.
I think we all know that.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah. You had this last time you were here, correct?
I did. We talked a little bit about that last time.
So now it is a real thing.
It is.
Yep. 8s, 10s, 12s, and dual voice coils this time.
Oh.
Where spike and space are all singles.
Yeah.
This is a dual.
Oh, yeah.
You got those nice woven tinsel leads. Yeah. That nice stitch surround.
Dude, it's so heavy.
Yeah, bump back plate.
So
like
heavy.
It's designed to, take some abuse.
Yeah. The story, we talked about this last time, but in this scenario, we know that Epicenter customer, we know that guys that want a lot of bass need to be able to drive a woofer really hard. We wanted to basically build a woofer that you could drive out of the gap without hurting it. Like you can go all the way to burning the voice coil up and the speaker is still going to sound good.
Yeah,
right to the point where it catches on fire. For those of you that want to know, that point is well beyond its rated power. But so if you'll notice, the one big thing, and I don't know if you can see there or not, but we ended up having to change factories that manufacture this backplate so that we could get a bigger bump in it without having to machine the gap on the inside. As soon as we have to go back and add that extra process of machining, as soon as we have to go in and machine an extra groove for that voice coil to come down into, the woofer gets way more expensive. So to keep the price point, we just found a guy with a bigger machine to stamp this a little bit further, which gave us that last little bit of excursion. So we were able to use a little bit smaller voice coil and a lighter weight, looser suspension to the driver. And with 500 watts, we can get to full excursion. You can basically beat up on it, and it's going to take everything you throw out. And as a side product, by using that smaller, lighter weight voice coil and the kind of less moving mass to it, and not building it like overly stiff, you have a very musical woofer. It's if this didn't have the Epic name and it said altitude on it, I would be here preaching this is my sound quality woofer. This is what I have in my car. I don't know. You've heard my car. You guys have not.
A lot of people.
Oh,
you
you
guys
guys
are
are
too busy.
Yeah, those are what was in my car.
I saw the picture
Mastertech,
that you have those. Yes.
Yep.
How many you have in there?
Two 10s vended.
Yeah, and a ton of people at Mastertech got to hear that car. There was never less than like an hour to 2 hour line to hear that car.
A lot of people
And
say they sound really nice.
I think that was the most impressive thing to me, is to see like, you know, some pretty big names in our industry get out of that car and hear a couple of $140 woofers and go, damn, that thing sounded good. Like that's a cool, you know, I mean, if it's $1,000 woofer, it had better be awesome, right? But to have some of these guys get out of that car and go, I gotta give it to you, man. That thing sounds great. Like that's
got a
impressive.
couple of first place Emma trophies with that car,
Yeah,
and then being able to play bass CDs at full tilt. And I still say CDs, bass songs.
No, that's okay.
Yeah,
full tilt
CDs.
with some Epicenter on it. Yeah, it's definitely fun.
Yeah, it was a fun demo.
quick side jet. The other day, I was talking to Haley and I said, "Hey, let's watch Ballerina tonight." She goes, "Oh, is that out on DVD?" And I go, "Wait." I go, ring, 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 ring. She's like, "Shut up!" And I go, "Haley, it's like, what are you?" She's, "It's just easier. I hate saying streaming." I go, "So you picked DVD?" Oh my gosh. Anyways,
that's fun.
15s.
Not
Someday?
yet. Not yet. Maybe.
Not yet,
Maybe.
If there's enough demand, maybe. You know,
There's always
see.
demand.
Maybe.
I would love to see us do it.
So right now it's just 10 and
I know
12.
it
I
would.
love it.
Yeah.
8, 10, and 12.
8, 10,
And the
12.
8's really a little monster. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I love a good high.
I love
output
8
Yeah.
because they look so small, and when they deliver a lot of power, it's just fantastic.
I've always loved those woofers that, like, especially in an 8, where when it's sitting on a table and you look at it, like the magnet, the basket, everything's almost the same size, like a cylinder that, you know,
Well,
like
I
it has
have the
no
spike,
no
the
shape to
8-inch
it.
spike
Mhm.
in my
Yeah.
car, and it
That's
was
pretty
like
stout little woofer.
fantastic, you
Yeah.
know, so.
So definitely fun. We've been given the ability. I'm very excited that when I took this opportunity with AudioControl, that they're letting me drive.
Yeah.
Right. Like we're gonna do it. It's gonna take us a while. Like I want to build. Trust me, we're in meetings all day today where I'm like, I want to build. I have this list. I want to build all of this.
Yeah.
And so it's just finding the path that makes sense, and one by one we'll add in there. And like I feel like I know what people want. Like I know what I want. And I feel like if I build what I want, there's plenty of people that want the
All
same
right, so
thing.
this is another question. Any plans for a shallow version of the Epic subwoofers?
It's on the list. I will say it's not towards the top of the list.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
So
not an immediate-
eventually we'll get there.
It's on the board.
Yeah, we'll get there.
All right. So we got speakers. We got touchy feelies.
Yeah.
All right,
Anything else cool over there? I never know what Matt stole from me when
all
I
right,
was
so
looking.
I got a
Come on.
question. Matt, Gary.
It seems like the new Epicenter Micro Pro is using the same ACR4 remote that the Micro used. So any changes to the linearity must be made inside the main unit. More linearity is nice. Improvement. I use custom knobs.
100%.
It's not really a question, but
It was not fun, but yeah, it did require. It was way more work to get that to zero effect. I will say that we went through many versions, including we had one. The first attempt at it, like, you know, my joke is always that custom never works on the first try, because if it does, it's just not that custom. So it's probably done it before, right? So the first attempt at getting like all of the effect out of the knob left us with a new effect, which was when you went from no effect to the start of effect, you got the woofers that went pop pop.
Oh,
Yeah, that was the first few attempts. So
What's up, Austin?
it was handled inside the unit. It was not a fun process. That product was supposed to be done a year ago, and here we are.
I'd rather have something that works than something that came quick.
Yep.
Do we want to side tangent over to those two boxes real quick?
Yeah, for sure. We can do that.
Oh. How did you steal those?
I asked.
Matt is-
Matt is a kleptomaniac.
I
He takes everything.
come on.
No, I asked.
No.
Because I had talked to Ernie right before, and he goes, "Hey man, you want me to have him bring those with me?" I go, "Yes."
No, I was talking to Mike Lake, one of our head engineers. That
He's on the show quite often. He just pops in and corrects everyone.
Yeah, did Amp Pro. He said, "Hey, I have some samples of these. Do you want to bring them?"
Supposed to be showing this?
Yeah.
Yes.
They encouraged it.
All right, before you go, because
Yeah.
it seems like Gary is surprised.
This is not my product category. I handle amps, speakers, processors. This is
Are the
Mike Lake's.
altitude amps replacing the LC and the D series amps for now until relaunch with new name?
No.
No.
They're different amps.
different.
The LC and D, LC is focused on adding integration and that high voltage input and being able to have a little more contouring of the sound.
Yep.
D is obviously processor based. Last time I was here, we talked a little bit about that. Yes, obviously on the roadmap is revised DSP based amplifiers and revisions for those products. Those are not projects that have deadlines. Those are projects just like getting the Micro Pro right. When they're done and they're right, you guys will be probably some of the first to know.
Yep.
But yeah, we're working on some really, really cool stuff.
Yeah, that's not
Really,
stuff
really
you want
cool
to
stuff.
rush.
Yeah.
Like that.
No, and especially if it's the path that was laid out,
Yes.
then that's worth the extra time.
It is.
Yep.
It's worth the
100%.
effort.
It's going to be really cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be worth the wait for sure.
I don't know anything.
One more. Hey, Matt.
Yes.
Are the audio control amplifiers the same quality as far as audio output, Epic versus LC versus the D and the altitude?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely differences between them. I mean, like Gary just said, besides just features, of course, like I said, D has DSP, LC is effectively OEM integration amplifiers. Altitude is what I would call the daily driver, right? Where it's kind of a just good all-arounder. And then Epic is your, hey, I don't need a ton of features, but I want good, clean power, and I want it at a lower price. And obviously has the Epicenter link. Like they all kind of have their lane, I guess is the best way to describe it. And as far as the audio output, like they're different. I mean, there's certainly a difference when you look at specs, etc., and listen to them. Even there's certainly a difference between
Well, I mean, listen, you can't buy a Lamborghini for half the price.
right. Yeah,
So,
I mean, there's going to be a difference.
Every
sure.
manufacturer makes a good, better, best, or a value-based performance price point amplifier. There's a dot on the wall that you're trying to hit. I assume.
Yeah, you're managing compromises. We talked. I think we talked about this last time.
Probably
a little bit too. That a lot of times when you get into those specs on an amplifier, especially in a full range, we'll just say a Class D 4-channel. The specs come from a combination of how the board is laid out, how there's crosstalk between components, and the quality level of each of those components. Like most of the car audio manufacturers use the same 6 or 8 different Class D driver chips.
Right.
Like we're all using the same type of stuff. We're all building a power supply in front of that. We're all using output devices. We're all selecting capacitors. And it's kind of that, like you could have the same ingredients to make a recipe. And if we all had the same ingredients and the same recipe, they would all taste a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's not that there's a huge difference from product to product. From a quality standpoint, we've always had a mentality that we're building stuff that we don't want to break. We do. None of us want to have to warranty an amplifier. Like we would not build something that we weren't confident in. And the spec choices there is just kind of managing that, like how much performance do you want versus what that retail price is. And that's where, the making good sound great of audio control and my consistent vision of just getting the most out of every product you can is like that combination there.
Yeah.
And so like you take an altitude amplifier, it's a little bit bigger. We have a little bit more room in that circuit board. We have a little bigger distance between components. So if you look at that and you look at the signal to noise ratio versus an altitude or versus an Epic, the signal noise is a little better on an altitude amp. The board level components are a little bit better. There is a little improvement in sound. And most of that is in the noise and the dynamics. If you're not a critical listener and you're not pushing the amp to its absolute limits every day. There's not like, it's not like you flip a switch and you went from a 20-watt light bulb to a 100-watt light bulb. It's not
Come
this
on,
like
man. You know you
night
did.
and day
Yeah, for sure.
scenario. But
sure.
yeah.
No, and I always tell the story. I was talking with Steve Irby one time, and I said, what do you enjoy the most? He goes, I enjoy making lower price speakers because it's the hardest thing we do, because we have our quality that we are going to hit, but we have all these restrictions there. We're not going to compromise. We're going to keep struggling until we match this with that.
Yeah,
And
if your
it's hard.
project is to build the best sounding $1,000 set of speakers, well, you got a lot of options open to you, right?
Yeah.
When your target is $69.99 or $99.99 for a pair of speakers, it's got some choices to make.
Yeah.
So,
Anyways,
let's dig into Amp Pro.
Yeah.
So
here we go.
Amp Pro, as we know, is all right. Do me this favor.
Yeah.
One of you guys give me the overview of the Amp Pro pitch, because I've done it to the point to where it hurts.
Yeah. So I talk about Amp Pro a lot these days,
Yes.
and I think the best way to look at this is that a lot of modern vehicles with a premium sound system have, of course, a factory amplifier. Traditionally, most people are going to grab the outputs from that factory amplifier to add their aftermarket audio.
Put some high level to low level in there.
Put high to lows in there, use a 7i Pro, use whatever, right? And what a lot of them end up finding out is that regardless that they bought a 7i Pro and some really nice amps, whether they're from us or whoever, and nice speakers and subs and all that, at the end of the day, it didn't sound right? And they go, well, it's louder and it's got some bass now, but it doesn't sound right. Something's missing. Because when you take all of that processing that the OEM manufacturer built into that car to make their gear sound its best in that vehicle, and now you try to kind of reverse engineer and undo all of that, or you don't and you just leave it there and smash it all together with signal summing, it doesn't sound right. It's just not right. You know, there's always frequencies missing, or there's all pass filters still in there that the installer may or may not know about. There's factory crossover points, factory EQs, dynamic EQs that change with volume. There's door chimes. Anybody out there ever amplified a door chime? It sucks, right? I mean, I've had customers want to return a whole system.
Ding.
I mean, like,
now it's
it's wild.
So the solution is
Amp Pro.
And why is that? What
because
is it doing?
it's getting signal digitally. Right. So this is getting signal with ones and zeros on the data network in the vehicle. And it's getting signal either from where the factory amp used to be, and it's physically replacing the factory amplifier, or it's teeing in and the factory amp stays in the system and it's teeing in, getting its signal before the factory amplifier. And then we're not dealing with any of the BS that we just talked about. So long story short, what you end up with is the audio that comes out of one of these is the equivalent of putting in a quality aftermarket radio, right? You end up with front rear sub RCAs that are decent voltage, say 4 or 5 volts, flat 20 hertz to 20K, no crossovers, no EQ, no crazy chimes. And now you just took a system that you could fight with for hours trying to correct everything and fix everything with or without a DSP, or you just plug in an Amp Pro and it's like you have a quality aftermarket deck in your car now. Like it's
actually better
so
than quality
easy.
Because they also have Toslink out.
Very true.
So,
and what I love is that there are other products out there in the market that do somewhat similar things, right? There's always something. What I love about Amp Pro is that for something that's behind the scenes, as complicated as these are for us to develop and produce and put out, you plug them in with a T-harness and they just work. Like there's no programming involved. You don't have to plug it into a computer. I mean, there's some programming you can do if you want to, but 9 times out of 10,
control.
9 times out of 10 though, if you wanted to, you could take this out of the box, plug it into the car, and wire up an amp like it was 20 years ago, and it's going to work. Like it's just simple. And one of the things I think is important to pay attention to with Amp Pro is what I mentioned a minute ago, which is, does it replace the amp or does it go in line with the amplifier?
Yeah.
And that's key, because a lot of people look at this and they go, well, I don't need all this, but I do want to just add an amp and sub. So you know what? I want the best one. I'll get an Amp Pro. Okay. But if it's a car where you take the factory amp out, now there's nothing to run your door speakers. So you have to put in a 5-channel or multiple amplifiers in some of those vehicles. So
Which
you just have to
works
pay
for me.
attention. Right. Yeah. You just have to pay attention. Right.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
you know, like in a Toyota, for example, factory amp stays. In most GMs, not the case. Like it just depends. Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it just depends on the vehicle.
So we have 2 new models here.
Yep.
One is going to be sooner than the other. The new FD32 is
huge.
This is
for 2025 and up. This is with factory B&O amplifier, and this is the Bronco Sport, F-150, 250, 350, Maverick, and Ranger.
So basically, if you have a BO system and it has the new plug that does not look like a micro USB,
and there is one in here. Mike said we could crack it open and show them the plug.
I didn't.
Because he's like, this is what everybody's gonna want to see. You know,
Yeah,
Break the box.
Mike wants all this back, so don't piss him off. He's not gonna come on your show anymore.
We might need this for photo samples too. So.
Right.
It's okay. I'm not going to hurt it. Fernando, let me see.
Famous last words from Dean.
Yeah, exactly.
No, dude,
Boom,
Fernando's the
drop
one
it.
that's over there like ripping the box apart. And he's like, I'm going to see this. It's like,
So that little plug right there, that's the one we want to see.
That's it. So if you now have this plug and you've been, damn you, my luck. This is it.
And it is not just the last version with a different plug on it.
Correct.
No,
The protocol
it
is different.
Yes,
The chipset's
yes.
different inside.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there
Skip it
will
Okay.
very likely be more applications added to this, but at launch, this is what we have physically confirmed it works in.
Can you repeat the model?
Yeah, so this is your 2025 Ford Bronco, the full size with B&O system. 2025 Ford Bronco Sport with B&O. 25 F-150 with B&O, 25 250 with B&O, 25 350 with B&O, 25 Maverick with B&O, or 25 Ranger with B&O. So effectively, pretty much the most popular vehicles Ford makes. We do hope to add a few more to that list at some point, but one of the many things I think is great about these is we don't put these out until we have physically laid hands on that car and verified that it works.
Which I've often said. And they have the longest bass knob on the planet.
Yeah, longest shaft on there
It
for sure.
is like, ooh, baby.
Yeah.
That's the John Holmes of bass knobs.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, we don't just go, oh, well, this vehicle's similar to that one. It should work here, add it to the app guide. And occasionally that pisses people off because they go, well, hey, these are the same platform. Of course it works. You should add it to the app guide. It's like, well, if our team hasn't put hands on it and made sure, then we're not going to just assume. That's where you get bit by things like that. So,
I don't know what you're talking about.
and then the other model there, the
New
AP4
GM81.
So this is another, like, this is a big one. And
So these are on pre-order right now, and
Mm-hmm.
I know this because we have 4 on pre-order. Hopefully, this should be available first part sometime next month.
yeah, it should be sometime in August.
And this will be September, October.
It might even be a little earlier than that, but we'll say that. to
I'm
be
being
safe.
optimistic.
Yep.
Slow down. We all work in the same world, right? Just making sure.
Yeah, and on the GM81, as far as your applications, you are 24-25 Chevy Blazer EV with Bose, 23 to 25 Colorado with Bose, 24 to 25 Silverado EV with Bose, 25 Suburban with Bose, Tahoe with Bose, and 24-25 Traverse with Bose.
Yeah, so a big hole there. Definitely a big hole. These two are probably the two of the most anticipated products to be released in 2025 for sure.
Yeah.
So super excited about these.
Yeah, and for every installer out there that's seeing, these vehicles roll into the bay and there hasn't been maybe a perfect solution, maybe there's been some, but they're not great, or there hasn't been any, whatever. It's good to see something that, like, even if it's not out yet, in the back of your mind, oh, it's an Amp Pro. It's going to work. Like, I don't have to worry about, oh, I'm going to get this thing after I order it, and is it going to do what they say? No, it's going to work.
Yeah,
we all know.
I did see somebody ask somebody who's having a trouble with an Amp Pro on there. 2 things. One, there's always firmware updates on that stuff. That would be the first thing to check.
Yep.
And if you're having an issue, reach out to tech support and they'll walk you through it, or we'll replace the product. That's how we work.
Yep.
So yeah, there was that. I know I saw Steve ask about non-amplified Broncos, Mr. Bronco Master out there. No, everything Amp Pro right now is for amplified system,
Except for
minus some
Chrysler.
Chrysler.
Yeah. And really, those Chrysler models, the Amp Pro just tells the factory radio you have an amplifier and tricks it into working more or less. But yeah, I mean,
I think in the Broncos, it's actually two different brains. That's why we can't do Chrysler type tricks.
Yeah, it's a little bit different.
So basically, if you can't do it with Forescan,
I mean, luckily, I think a lot of the guys at the Broncos, for simpler stuff like just adding bass, I mean, they've had good success with doing traditional 2i Pros and things like that, using an LPH harness and etc. So there's some options out there, but maybe nothing quite this simple. But and for those of you asking about specific models, etc., like if we didn't mention it tonight, again, there's a good chance that we are going to add more. Not a good chance.
We are.
Certainly we're adding more.
And if you guys get a car, for the guys that work at shops, if you get a car and let's say you get to one of these new Fords and you open it up and it has the new connector and it's not on our list, please call into tech support. Like we would love to work with you.
We'd love to send you one and have you validate it for us.
Validate it and get it on the application list for everybody. So.
Now, before all of you send in an email or a message for that, it is a big packet of paperwork you get to fill out. Yeah. But in return, you're getting a product that's unreleased or untested for that vehicle.
Now, this is only for the people that work in shops, correct?
Yeah.
There you go.
Now, I will say this, because Amp Pro is such a big category. I did talk with our good buddy, Ernie Hartman, tonight, who handles tech support and also the validation team for Amp Pro. And in a couple, probably next month, right before or right around this time comes out, we're going to get him on the show. And we're going to do a whole show on Amp Pro. So look forward to that.
Yeah. I was talking to Ernie about that today, too. I'm like, dude, you should go down there. It'd be a great show.
No, we're going to get him on. We haven't had him on in a really long time.
Ernie should just walk in with an armful of all the Amp Pro models.
He did drop me off.
Oh, did he?
He should have come in.
Yeah, he should come in, man.
So we're gonna have him on to talk, to answer all the questions, go deep into Amp Pro. So we'll look forward to that show soon. Yeah. All right, Matthew, Mr. Bell, what else do we want to do? Some future forecasting? What do you got to talk about now, huh? What does the world look like?
I don't know that I got anything that I can.
Yeah, I don't know.
That you guys can say.
Right.
You're the boss. Let it out. Well, all right. Let's talk direction.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's always an easy segue, and we'll wrap it up with that. Obviously, you get to have a lot of fun with this. You've done Epic. Epic is probably almost to the point where you're happy. The ball is rolling. There's always more. There's always more, but you have to keep moving. Where do you okay, let's play 5 years out. Let's play 3 years out, because 3 years out seems more attainable. Where do you see you guys going with that? Obviously DSP in the future.
Yeah, like I said before, it's no secret we're working on revamping the DSP line, and AudioControl made its splash in car audio with processing, right? And that heritage is super important to me. It's super important to the core team, and when we come back out, we're going to come strong. That's the only way to put it. Like anything you can think of, I think we've thought of it. Yep. that's the way to put it.
No, I get asked at trade shows or when I'm visiting dealers all the time. So, hey, when you guys come out with the new DSP, do you think it's going to have blank? And I'm like, yep, Gary's already talked about that. Well, what about, nope, already covered that. I don't think I've had anybody ask me for something that you and I haven't already had a conversation about.
Yeah. I mean,
and if they did, and it was valuable, then I would have already talked to you about it.
Yeah. Anybody who listens to the Old Fashioned Car Audio podcast knows that I am a proponent of value. I think that tuning is the most important thing, right? Install and tuning. Right? This is coming from a car audio manufacturer. Right? Tuning and install are the most important things you can do in a system. And then buy the best gear you can afford. Right? But do the best install and get the best tune you can on a car. My goal is to simplify that. Right?
Okay.
Like I want to make it easy on people. Like by no means, like we have some new people on our team that are in the marketing department, and one of them came from GM Performance.
Oh, nice.
And a conversation I had with him today when trying to explain DSP was, imagine you had a crate motor with no ECU and somebody handed you a blank ECU and you had to make the engine run. how daunting is that task? Like, do we expect anybody that buys a crate motor to have to like figure out, like, it's such an education for the guys that tune DSP all the time, they know it.
Mhm.
But to understand what a crossover is, how it works, how to blend a pair of speakers together in both frequency response and phase response, like there is a lot to getting a car to sound good. And our goal is to get it to sound as good as you can, as easily as possible.
Yep.
And again, we're not the only ones that make those products.
Right.
We're in a point in our development cycle that I think we're going to have a great advantage in what we do, our history and processing, understanding like the interface and the way people act with the car. Like we're in a great spot. We just need a little more time. Stick with us.
Yep.
Yeah, and we'll have some products that solve problems.
Yeah. Well, and I think what we didn't want to do going forward was take what we already have and just do another update or revamp some of it and call it Rev 2, or you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, I feel like we did that already.
Yeah. Well, and like the D amps are pretty solid for what they are.
Yeah.
But I mean, they've been around for a while, right? And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think any product that survives.
That tattoo on your arm, those guys have been making amp for 25 years.
Fair enough. You said it, not me.
I'm just saying.
You know, there's that if it ain't broke, don't fix it mentality, right? But no, I think, you know, it's been time for a little while for us to do something new with DSP. I think we got the software. DM Smart DSP is as good as it's ever been. It's the most reliable it's ever been. It's solid. So somebody with audio control DSP stuff now, I think is getting pretty great value out of that product. You know, the fact that you could have bought a D4.800 however many years ago, 6, 7, 8 years ago, and today could update it to the latest for free is pretty cool. That we still support products. You know, a lot of companies don't support anything after a year or so. So the fact that we still allow people to do that is pretty rad. And then, you know, like I said, could we have taken the D series amps and just like done a little refresh and here, let's paste on some features that everybody keeps asking for? Yeah, we could have, but like, it's time. It's time to do a whole new something. So, and now, you know, you got to remember too, that all audio control LC and D amps and DSP was all done prior to the Stinger Amp Global acquisition, right? Yeah. So now you have us under the same umbrella as companies like PAC, who make cool things like Amp Pro.
Okay, well, hey, so, listen,
you know, just saying.
Did the ACM still available?
ACM amps are you know, I don't want to say kind of being sunset a little bit. Like they don't sell like they used to. So there's still some of them available out there. I don't think we've officially like, hey, they're gone. But they're slowly reaching their point.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this: anything that we think is viable, and again, the behind the scenes data of what you guys are actually buying and what sells and what works, we have all that data. We know what works. We know what doesn't. There are a lot of items in the line that are end of life. They're just they've run their
they run their course.
Recycle.
And what might have been great for the market 6, 8, 10 years ago isn't necessarily a competitive product today. Yeah. And people have had a lot of time to kind of catch up to some of that stuff and even surpass it in a lot of situations. And we will have replacement for the
stuff,
for the most important products, the best selling products. We'll put everything we can into them.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey guys, we are going to end it there. Thank you guys both for coming on. We thought we were going to get Matthew and it turned into a twofer. So very nice. Yeah. Very nice.
Turns out I'm in town.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. We hope you guys enjoyed this. We hope you liked the new product. Of course, you can head over to stingersolutions.com if you'd like to purchase it, as well as you can go to audiocontrol.com and find out more. And of course, stay tuned for more exciting things coming your way. We will be back. We will be back in a long time. It's I won't be here. So we'll no Saturday show. No, it'll be next Friday.
Jesus.
Oh,
He's back to next
taking
Friday.
Vacation.
Yeah, nice.
I'm not taking a vacation. I'll be out at Mobile Solutions doing Mobile
Taking
Solutions.
vacation.
He'll be out in the desert, laying by the pool.
Yes.
Yeah. Forgot about that.
Yeah. So anyways, you guys have a great night, and we'll see you later next time.
Thanks,
Bye, guys.
Bye.